bed is comforting, if... Across the room.
Thoughts, baby.
Recorded in you.
On and on.
Behold, there are millions of them down there. The first time.
It's the world, Harry. You can never forget this shit.
All stuck on loop. Whirling, spitting out words and images.
You're the son of the world.
Reading your awful letters and recalling things, aren't you?
You'll go insane if you keep going like this.
For the great, forever call. Always and only Rever.
Solving your little crossword puzzles. Doing your tasks. Crossing names off lists. Trying to become some sort of world detector. It won't make it okay. It won't. There he goes again. He's a real political animal, our Harry.
He's gone.
Gasolina. Beep, beep, beep.
Do it for the pic. Hey, Moneymouth. Eendrak, the impeccable hustler provider of the 7th generation. It's showtime with Savvy. What's up? I'm worried about what's down, broke boy. I'm talking about your severe lack of money. No, you don't. You just keep muttering about your economic self-interest and not doing anything about it. Yeah, I heard you back there. What the hell was that? Brilliant. Catastrophes are prime time for moneymakers. But you're not really reaping any benefits yet, are you? No shorting, no shameless speculation. Listen, if you really want to make it in the big leagues, you need to reconceptualize your entire portfolio. Collecting tear and moaning about taxes is not going to cut it. You need to become a millionaire. Now, how do you become a millionaire? Those guys, they're all financially illiterate. Only Savvy here knows how to dazzle and embezzle money out of investors' pockets with the acrobatic prowess of a 4-time gold medalist in the Samaran Gymnastics Summer Games. The ancient Samaran tribes used carved rhodochrosite to represent their wealth. The bigger the boulder, the more money they had, in case you needed to know. Not unless you have thousands of them stuffed away in secret. And then what? Join the ranks of blue-collar criminals? Of course you don't. You've never even been close to a sum with more than 3 zeros. Let's face it, you've been on a years-long losing streak. But Savvy's got your back. Savvy's going to book you a charter flight with 80 birds of prey on board, to a land where the streets are paved with Krugerrands and fixed income securities. You'll try again, but this time with money. You'll win her back. Are you in? The spirit of ultra-liberalism, your charm, your spin, your winning hand. Attaboy, welcome to the final grind. Here we operate with money on a much higher level than the ordinary citizen. We feed it back into the machine. Stop saving, start spending. Become a patron. Let's start by getting you into the lucrative art market to diversify your assets and increase your ROI. Speaking of which, know any artists? You're right. She has the poise of a struggling artist. Very tangible. You can feel the poverty on her. Plus, she has paint. Go and support her like the state never could. Everyone must know that you're a big fucking shark around here. Paintbrush? Check. Heavy fuel oil? Check. Now the only thing left to do is paint the wall. The paintbrush in your hand is like a loaded revolver. You've spoken. The wall will now silently repeat.
Very poetic.
There, on that balcony, do you see it? The artisto. Now, hold up. You can't go into a bullring without a prep talk. It's baby's first sales negotiation, after all. Savvy's got to give you the do's and don'ts. Artistos are known to repel wealth. It bounces off their skin like rubber. The moment a reasonable business proposal enters their periphery, they go and get political. Nonsense. No one repels wealth. The businessmen just don't know how to entice them. It's true, some of them are known to turn the entire thing into a happening. What you need to do is lure them in with a strong one-liner. Get them on your side before you've even finished a sentence. Show us what you've got. Pretend you're facing the skull girl. What is this? A dating agency? Are you looking for a pretty young thing to sponsor? Never mix business and pleasure. Never. Mamma mia, if this isn't the top seller in La Delta. Everyone knew you'd eventually get it right. Okay then.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural? What's that? The piggy's looking to get into the art market with a snappy business pitch. Watch out, or you'll be auctioned off and face the chop.
The lieutenant straightens his back, waiting to see where this is going. Are we witnessing a performance, perhaps? Play along. Relax. It's all part of her image. No one speaks to a police officer in that tone. Show the little missy here her place. She stares at you, fearlessly, waiting for a response.
This little persona will grind you into a sausage if you don't stop. I'm not a sellout. The whole point of graffitio being on the street is so everyone can see it. No charge, expression for all.
There has to be a way to convince her. Everyone has a price.
I thought you were a pig. Ooh, little piggy knows the big words. What a waste of a perfectly good saucy son, stuffing it full of art speak. Sorry, even with your fancy degree, you've got nothing to offer me.
Perfect. She isn't interested. All the more reason to move on from this little side task.
Your partner here gets it. Anything else I can not do for you, gentlemen? Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Sure, she's all draped up in ironic detachment, but everyone's gotta eat.
Great. The little foray into the art world continues.
blah. I'm not for sale, Piggo.
Told you. Told you these artist types repel wealth. Turn it around. It's the seller who wields the power in this relationship.
Uh-oh, you're manipulating me. I do like a chance to rip off some stupid Piggos. And I need a pack of cigarettes. And some paint. Okay, whatever, Piggy. Time to leech off each other like the parasites we are. Let me see what I've got.
Even the lieutenant leans closer to inspect the work.
Here. Happy?
Interesting. You can immediately see multiple ways to interpret this piece. What is the experience that the artist is trying to create? What bodies and spaces are they seeking to explore? Remember, this is a buyer's market. You're the one who's in charge of pricing. She juts out her hand, letting you examine the piece. 3 red splotches have been shot at a diagonal across the surface. Tinier spots of various colors fan out from the same point of origin.
Well, Piggo, what do you make of it?
The angle of the paint drops reveals that they were fired at the canvas with the force of a hand cannon.
Yes, my artistic integrity. Signature? Oh yeah, Pigster. I sneezed while holding a wet brush. Paint flecked onto the canvas, and voila! You don't get more signature than that. Art issue. 67,000 real, and your head on a silver tray.
Remember, this isn't about the art or the artist. This needless purchase implies your excessive wealth. Art comes across as more tasteful than simply hanging cash on the wall.
That it? All right. It all helps.
Splendid. Your first physical asset. But no time to stop. Money grows old unless it keeps moving. You need to find a buyer, preferably someone who will pay a high price for such an exclusive piece from a local artist. Nah, she'd probably send the entire Wild Pines legal team after you if she knew you were trading goods around their harbor. She's ready and poised for a hostile takeover. And become a small-time art peddler? No, think bigger. Doing business with communist dictatorships only works if you've got long-term plans in place, which you don't. There must be someone around here with heavy pockets and an interest in the local art. Tell you what, have a wander around and I'll let you know if I hear any wealth. Yes, if you know what to listen for. That's what happens when you've been in the game for as long as I have. Your senses get tuned in to more opportune frequencies. I got some vibes from that container you moved with the crane in the harbor. Let's see what's inside. There isn't a door yet that Savvy's VIP status couldn't open.
Look at us, coming to an agreement. Who'd have thought? Anything else you want? I'm in a good mood, but it won't last long.
The corpse looks at you with bulk. You seem to be holding a cargo belt. Twists his...
Active decay.
He's about to blow! Cop's gonna blow Coop!
The smell is repulsive. It pushes in... Too late. Until the smell of Commodore Red rises.
Keep it. The hangover is clearly making this worse for you. If you can handle the headache. Some officers use it to deal with cadaverine odor. I can't handle the headache. That young woman, if she doesn't...
Acquiring ammonia will provide a modifier.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays.
Yeah, there's like an ampule somewhere. Okay. Don't, like...
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The ammonia only makes it worse. The combination forces tears out of your ducts. You manage to keep it in. The second time, not so much. When the vomiting is done, your cheeks are wet with tears. There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The ammonia only makes it worse. The combination forces tears out of your ducts. You manage to keep it in once. There he still is, looking right through the ammonia only. There he still is, looking right at the ammonia only. There he still is, looking right at the ammonia. There he still is, looking right at the ammonia. There he still is, looking right through the ammonia only. There he still is, looking right through you with his white. You crack open the ammonia ampoule and breathe in. The odor.
They do after 7 days, yes. We are deep in...
The man before you is... The material appears to be ceramic, delicate, and These are clearly...
Indeed. Technically speaking,
Oh, the lieutenant uses a memo technique, A6. That's not just any notebook. It's a classic. It's clearly some...
ceramic plate. Under the hill. Fairweather. Fairweather model T500 VE. I'm guessing that's piece by piece. We should keep a lookout for these pieces. The armor could yield information. This is one thing he might actually know. No,
Nice. That makes sense.
They usually hang them completely naked.
Clearly, Kuno would like to interject something here. But there's not enough for him to hold on.
It is. We've requested similar for a full set.
For the northwest region of Revachol, an officer's average yearly income is 5,500 real. Unadjusted.
Not too much, yes.
The lieutenant nods, wiping his finger.
Looks like he worked for a private contractor.
A small bell-like sound fills the air.
It's anything but.
Faint, like whirls of floorboards. The design looks organic, influenced by highly resistant wood materials, like lignum vitae and ebony perhaps. If trees were made of porcelain, the smooth, glossy surface fractures into ever more. The whirls are in the shape of a...
Good. Can you read it to
X541.
We have a make and a number. That's something. We can use the radio in my kinema when we're done.
This feels dangerous. Are you sure? The stench fills your nostrils.
Stop! Pig's gonna pull his head off.
Brutal!
You're about to pull his...
Do it, homo!
Yes, that's what I said. You'll compromise the coroner's case if you do. So please, don't.
Indeed.
What are you trying to achieve anyway? Why are you hanging on? How many clues do you need? You already found a number. Besides, there's no way you're getting them off. All the organic matter in his body has been flowing down into the boots. They are fused to his feet now. Why do you think the locals haven't...
You're sure there's a way to peel them off. But first, the body... The anticipation makes you crack your fingers. Feels nice. Nice and cracky.
Processing will take care of them. With the situation in the
The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt. His torso covered. The hangman's knot is pulled tight by the... This is a steel reinforced...
Airlifting. I thought it was used on lorries. The local harbor uses... Right now, everything I was afraid it would be. A noose is one of those... That ladder can't...
Could be. The shape of the... The cadaver hangs from the cargo belt. Limbs limp and torso covered in tattoos. An intricate web of blue lines stretch. His corpse is marked by stars. Alcohol and heartbreak.
A map of the stars.
As if someone left that
So am I.
He wears a wide leather belt. He takes a thin piece of
A Trigger Sunshine.
Triggered is...
Shit, Kuna!
An instant color camera.
This is the first time he opened...
I have only 2 ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one.
A sound, a shrill flash, followed by the breaking of a...
In case we need it. Yes, it is pretty cool, isn't it? It contains insight to the victim's person. This was a man of physical violence. The story... Sure, just don't lose it.
The glossy-eyed corpse looks by, his mouth mute and his skin as his eyes, these eyes, dark brown hair grows on his head. His face is ready to explode from the organic processes inside. The death's head grin has passed. What remains is an unrecognizable mess. His face is ready to...
I'm gone. Into the what? In the past. I'm a joke. Look at me. is nothing. A killer. Go ahead, Coppo. What do you mean? It's the power you imagine.
Yeah, man! Don't be.
He loves those. Because you're a copperoony. Here you go, you loony. Fuck no. You're... No, you don't. That's right. Fuck no. You ain't no tequila sunset. You're probably good for you. Fuck no. No. You're not a Harry either. You're a motherfucker. That's who you are. Root because you have. Do I remind you of someone?
A child born with Muller's disease, harlequinism.
You sure got out of that one. Come back later, Corpo. Amuse you.
As you narrow your eyes, this is a trick. Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue. His fatted hands, thighs, and his neck.
I see it. His neck too.
The monster comes back into focus.
So, what do you think? I agree.
There are his personality.
Totally dead. That sounds about right, yes. Agreed. Especially on the neck. Everything here seems to corroborate that assumption. But we should still get him to purposefully mislead us. They must have hung him fast after that bullet hit. This is well done. It would have fooled me.
The pool of...
The victim appears...
The fuck he said?
Talking about shit.
Maybe. I do.
Stop talking in riddle.
He means you fucked him up good, Kuno. Fucked him up.
But there is no breath to catch. Only the...
Are you sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? The steel-reinforced belt presents a unique...
He doesn't actually...
The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance.
An acrobatic maneuver would solve this situation. Nothing can go wrong with a good maneuver.
Yeah, bang bang time.
How?
With a buckle ties the rope.
Where?
Yeah, now
They'll miss.
The lieutenant is undecided. On one hand, he wants to shoot some gun. On the other, it's an awfully stupid idea. The lieutenant's brow is furrowed. He appears too deep in concentration to even notice what you said.
I'll blow his head off.
Take it. Take the shot.
yeah, take the shot. Kuno.
Silence, and produces a lightweight firearm. He drops a paper cartridge in the barrel, separates the scouring stick, and gives the cartridge 5 tucks. That's a Kiel A9090 Armistice, mass-produced muzzleloader, ascetic, frugal, one of the most common firearms in the world. He then steps back and assumes the fellow's desk position, taking aim. The corner of his eye twitches. His finger is on the trigger.
He's gonna fucking miss.
The kid's voice is drowned in a shrill blast that echoes off the walls of the surrounding tenements. A cloud of smoke slowly parts in the air as the lieutenant steps back and says to himself,
God damn it.
a lot of things were wrong with that shot. The fellow's test was the wrong choice. His shoulders are raised, but above all, he cannot trust it.
Kuno could have hit it. Kuno study too.
The lieutenant doesn't say a word. Just
No, we are... Any more mistakes could put us in an unfortunate position. No, we are lucky as it is. We didn't break anything, and any more mistakes could put us in an unfortunate... I have to say, it's beginning to look unlikely we can get it.
you know, you don't feel like too bad of a shot yourself.
It's bad as it is. Us shooting firearms like punks. Go ahead, I'm not stopping you. Just
They only have one gun.
This is the so.
Yeah, take it, you fucking banana boyka. Take
The cold piece of bacon.
the fuck are you waiting for?
The buckle comes into focus in your sights. You stand with your feet planted firmly in the ground and your left hand supporting your gun arm.
Why don't you just shoot yourself in your mouth? At least you won't miss.
Your field of the slow move.
Look, he's crying. You gonna cry now, fucking faggoty?
The buckle explodes into tiny pieces, coming loose with a whir. With your hand numb from the recoil, you look at the body slump down. For a moment, the man appears to kneel in front of you, looking straight at you, helpless, trapped within itself.
Communism.
It takes a millisecond for the association to flash within your cortex. You have no idea where it's coming from, only that it's right. Then the rigor in his muscles gives up, and he smashes sideways into the spring mud, letting out a horrid stench.
Fuck you, Kurpale!
ace is high.
The ace is high, a custom invented by the aerostatic brigades during the revolution, is used to celebrate success in Revachol, especially in sports. The gesture is spread across the world, despite the defeat of the revolutionaries themselves. The lieutenant takes a little hop to perform the customary salutation. Your palm hurts from the slap. It's precise and down to the point.
I knew these guys were
Kuno cracks with laughter. Sounds like someone strangling a seagull. It's clear he enjoys himself.
I knew they suck each other off.
We will perform a field autopsy and determine the cause of death. But before... Excuse me.
Slumped on the ground like that has not improved the way the corpse smells. The fall seems to have released something deep inside it.
It looks like I feel like taking a break from the stench. I'm sorry to interrupt the jubilations here. Just a little breather before we do the autopsy. Yes, the 4 phases of a murder scene. 1. Investigation of the scene. I'm satisfied with that part. The trash container, the prints, we've been thorough enough. 2. Initial examination of the victim. We were exhaustive in our efforts there. Good job. 3. Field autopsy. This will not be pleasant or easy, and it will have to be performed on the scene.
The fuck are they on about?
Cops are gonna cut his shit up next.
4 and final, transport of the coroner's case to the district morgue. I'll do that. God, no, you and I are detectives. The honorary rank of detective signifies our ability to handle the entire incident chain. From crime scene to autopsy to cleanup, we do it all. An honor and a burden attached to your rank. Mine is Lieutenant Detective, unfortunately. I can't tell you how tired I am of this corpse. With shooting like that? Of course you are. Your station would not have assigned you to this case otherwise. I would suggest we interview Everhart and Joyce, the leader of the Union and the Wild Pines rep, but we've already done that, so it's up to you, Detective. Take us where we need to be.
He trusts you have plenty of things in the task chain lined up. The rotting man lies on his side with his eyes looking straight through you. The belt is still around his neck. His body is supine and open to intrusion by autopsy. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Come on, officer. You know what a field autopsy is. You've done 100 of them.
What you do know is, at 18.9 kilometers, the dormant shield volcano, Corpus Mundi, is the world's highest summit, and the failure of the 38 single, Ep.32, to crack the top 20 was the death knell of disco. But what a field autopsy is, you have no idea. You must have me confused with the Copperpedia. You, sir, you are the Copperpedia.
Unfortunately, no. They are better than nothing. Tell you what, I perform the anatomical side of things while you will take notes. That's right.
The dead man stares in silence as you crack open the ledger. The bright red paper is covered in boxes and lists, describing the condition of his skin and organs in 3 parts. Above those, an 11-field info form needs filling out first. It begins with,
That's you.
the corpse is indifferent to the time of the dead light and great culling, just lies there. The next box says,
KK57-0803.0815.
KK equals Kim Kitsuragi. 57 equals Precinct 57, followed by his date, 0803, and time of arrival, 0815, on the scene. He's indexed the case after himself, not you. That's because he doesn't want to bring up the messy question of your initials.
And what would that make the alphanumeric?
HDB 41 0803. Help me out with the time of day, anyone? 11:11. It's meaningful. 10:15. It's understated.
Good. Let's go with that. We've heard the nom de guerre, Lely. It's better than nothing. Write it down. What's next? Date of NA. Roughly 50.
Try 40. The damage is so extensive, it's better to err on the young side. The corpse looks ageless, like meat on a hook.
Mondial.
Fair to olive-skinned, from the Isola of Mundi. This is as vague as it gets. You might as well say whitish. The pudgy mess of curdled meat looks neither mondial nor anything other.
Fucky, fucky!
Male.
Pigs can have sex!
Nor does he look male, with his pregnant belly and indistinguishable face.
We're still going with March 4th, 51. What else? 9. Body identified by is non-applicable. 10. Case number is the same as the coroner's case.
HDB 41 0803 listens, motionless, with the cargo belt still around his neck. Only
I'm not seeing anything yet, but we know there's tampering here. Write down, yes, non-visual, corroborated by witness. See report. Good.
your central nervous system recognizes this gesture. It's the stations of the breath. Ecclesiastic, religious in nature, a holdout from pre-DeLorean burial rites. It takes him 2 seconds to perform. Then, somewhere in Jamrock North, a small wood shed behind Rosencrantz Row, Lieutenant Nick Feuerbach puts his hand to the chest of a small corpse, no larger than a monkey. It's raining outside, light drizzle. There is darkness in the shed. Elsewhere yet, an obese female sits in a wicker chair, her silhouette ball-like against the window. Outside, Grand Coudon. The day is turning dim for Sergeant MacDawson. Hand extended, and so, all across Jamrock, Coal City, GRIH, 42
We should start the post-mortem.
The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. A thicket of boxes and lists on red copier paper tries to answer why.
Clothes. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs. The make of the briefs is Babrodine, I think. Let's see.
See, it's happening.
Babrodine, yes. Inexpensive. Size M. Color white.
The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing was expecting something more lurid.
The boots are ceramic. Vitreous enamel. They are fused to his skin from blood flowing downward post-mortem. Removal of the boots is left for processing.
It would be clever of you to omit the boots altogether, sire. If you are to keep them for yourself, as you ought to, you have deserved them more than anyone else. Patience. After the autopsy, before the body is taken away, there will be a window of opportunity. After the lieutenant has gone to sleep, I hope this has helped you, my liege.
The boot has a serial number. It's E50.100.100. The lines between the plates are in the shape of the alphanumerical. The number is purposefully concealed by the design. Tattoos. The upper torso is covered in a single, continuous tattoo, resembling a map of the night sky. It reaches from the right shoulder to the heart. The ink is blue and white. The assistant has a color photograph of the markings, to be added to the case files as document A1. The photo is taken on the scene, using a Trigat Mini. The deceased has a belt for airlifting cargo around his neck, tied with a hangman's knot. Color yellow. Length 3 meters. There is a buckle on the other end. Well-nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters, generally consistent with age, about 50. Preservation is good. Ambient temperature, below freezing. Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with age. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back, short.
His hair feels wet, soaked with rain, cold to touch. Not that different from a living person after a swim. The stench is suffocating. Strands of dark brown hair start sticking to your hand, like thread off a rag doll's head. More hair sticks to your hand. Hair off the rain-soaked head of a dead man. There are bumps and dips on the skull below. An alien landscape.
Lividity appears consistent with hanging, but is not. The head is congested. Contusions are present on the head and chest, consistent with stones thrown post-mortem. Low velocity.
Fucking low velocity? You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Velocity was fucking max. Talking shit about Kuno's velocity.
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest, consistent with predation. Ligature mark. The steel wiring. There's too much of it. We need to remove the belt so we can get to the ligature mark.
You got just the right tool for that. The chain cutters. The hanged man lets out a joyous little bubble of rot from...
Always good to think ahead. Now, we need to cut the belt to see the ligature mark below. Carefully, with as much precision as you can.
See, my pig is gonna fuck his head off.
No, he ain't. Your pig's a boring fuck.
You are? You're Kuno's pig?
The belt is equally tight around the whole circumference of his neck, swelling over the edges like white bread rising from the east. You jam the cutters right under the knot. That seems like a smart idea. Yeah, somewhere there. Already they're buried deep in the man's flesh. Then you rotate them to get a better hold. Then, a really, really bad smell is coming from there now, and some kind of cracking sound.
Yeah, fuck him! Fuck that faggot in! Corpse fucking time!
Told you my pig was hardcore.
I should have a go first. I think I have a strategy.
He sinks the cutters into the knot, preparing to perform the cuts, with his elbow to his knee for precision. Snap! The knot is slashed. Another cut and the belt falls apart like a flower bouquet,
Here. The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back of the neck, on the nape. Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a drop from 1 or 1.5 meters. That he was dead? Yes. They moved fast. This is a good treatment. Chest is intact. Normal contour. Abdomen is protuberant. Pelvis intact. Genitalia...
No! Let's get out and see!
I fucking knew it!
Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury.
The dead man's penis is average-sized, congested from the downward collection of blood. The testicles are uneven in length, hanging underneath. The genitalia is greenish. Marbling is present around the crotch.
Back is symmetrical and intact. Upper and lower extremities are intact, but asymmetrical. There are combat injuries on the right hand, thigh, and hip. In addition, I see smaller, residual scars, too numerous to count, covering about 30% of his skin.
From wounds sustained over 2, maybe more decades, dispersal and accumulation indicates long and active combat duty.
We have a last item. Hands.
His flesh is cold, icy.
Pleased to meet you. Where are you from and what's your name? I'm only fucking with you. I know where you're from. From Cappadocia. And your name is Il Corbo. What can I do you for, Il Corbo de Cappadocia? I did, Kobo. I did. Reminded me of when I was just a small boy, before this happened to my face and my body. You did. We should do this more often. Be close like this, I mean.
Hands are clean. No sign of injury from struggling. Not particularly, him being dead when they carried him over.
It is very hard to struggle when you're dead. Death.
Ooh. That's all for the external. Well done. What next? Central nervous system. I have nothing. Do you have anything on this man's central nervous system?
Of course, there is a moral to be drawn from it. A moral to this story.
What would that be?
The dead man looks, too, with barely contained excitement to hear the moral of his story.
I think that may well be the moral of every story, officer. Good. Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from the mouth. Not injury-related. Eyes and tongue protuberant. Hyoid bone. Let's see.
With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's throat and begins to massage it, gently. A rotting smell erupts from the mouth. Purge fluid runs down his lips, black and viscous. You hear cracks as the lieutenant moves his sharp fingers inside the flesh, like the creaking of an old house at night.
Yeah, jack that fucker off!
The hyoid bone is fractured. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact. Unremarkable. Respiratory system. Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants, possibly after a combat wound. Mouth swollen. Hemorrhaging present.
No scream, no sigh of relief rises from the darkness inside. It's humid there. Sickly sweet air, unlike anything living. You feel like you're about to throw up again, straight in that mouth of his. It's hard. Once more, you taste stomach acid in the back of your throat. A contraction. Your throat pumps a little something from your stomach and into your mouth. You're forced to swallow, just to keep looking. Inside, you see darkness. Just a mess of meat and darkness.
There are ancient mysteries down there, Kobo. Ask me later.
Hemorrhaging present in mucus. Hepatobiliary, NA. Are you a hepatobiliary expert?
Hepato means liver, and biliary, the gallbladder and bile ducts. Nothing in your alcohol-soaked memory directs to having forensic expert.
Neither am I. That's it. Same for toxicology and serology, NA. Unless you have untapped reservoirs of knowledge there?
Reservoirs? No, but do they take obscure trivia and odd tidbits?
No. Like a toxicology screening? At this stage, I doubt processing will find anything, even if he was brimming with cocaine. But still, you should add a request. Cardiovascular. The body exhibits heavy lividity. Blood has gathered in the hands, feet, and neck. Hypostasis is visually consistent with the hanging. Gastrointestinal.
This will do.
Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila. What's next on the list? Let's see. We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest, and a ligature mark encircling the neck. You'll need 3 feels. Leave a 4th one too. Oh, so we inflicted them? Okay, so there's an incision on the thorax from a chain cutter. I wouldn't mention it. Better not to muddy the waters. Be pedantic if you like, it doesn't matter. No one else is going to investigate this man's murder. And if they do, such details would only confuse them.
See? These pigs are fucking corrupt.
Why don't you fuck him if you love him so much?
Now, injuries. Head, chest, and scalp bite mark injuries. And your opinion, officer? Agreed. Next injury? So, the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury, a stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response. The perpetrator on the scene has confessed to causing it post-mortem.
At maximum velocity, fucko!
Has confessed to causing it at max...
Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones...
Right. Next, a dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck, with a gap on the nape measuring, let's say, 7 centimeters. The hyoid bone is fractured, the cervical column intact. I see hemorrhaging on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. Depth of the mark, 1 centimeter. No signs of clawing on the neck.
Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man's head jerks to the side. The ring around his neck is visible.
is what it would look like, but we know better. We know the ligature mark is a treatment. That's right. No clawing marks on the neck, no signs of struggle on the crime scene, and a witness statement from the perpetrators all confirm wound is post-mortem. Treatment. That's it. Field autopsy done, detective. All that remains is to see if the alleged cause of death, the bullet, is truly lodged in his brain. I'll leave that to you, colleague, or to processing. I won't force you in there.
Oh yeah, finally. Let's get in there.
Seriously, I can just bag him and drive him to the morgue anytime you tell me to. No need.
Shoot, Looney Rooney. Oh yes, Kobo mi Lobo. In the gift horse's mouth. Tracts and wakes and waterways. Ancient materials buried. Just a small gulp away. My beloved Kobo, come back later, Kobo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible, also.
I thought we decided to leave it to processing. Let's not turn this into some kind of circus.
Okay, so you can sneak out of your room maybe, after he's gone asleep. The man is deep. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath. Your arms reach. His face, his cheeks, his nose, his fat, swollen lips. Like a spider, your hand crawls over his features. Everything is silent. The oral cavity is cold and moist. A ball-like tongue attaches itself to the base of the mouth, lolling around like a scallop. You're on the right track. The tongue moves freely in the cavity. The mucus of the mouth is slippery, delicate to touch. From the soft meat, teeth are budding. Hard pearls of bone in the gums and in the back of the mouth. Can you feel it? You're so close. Rip his jaws open now. Look in. A vision of black and dark red death, pried open by your naked hands and studded with teeth. Looks like he's laughing. Death fumes rising from the throat, and there, in the back of his mouth, above the bell of the uvula, right in the soft palate. You see a hole, barely visible to the human eye. It is swollen shut, almost vanished. No larger than 0.4 centimeters in radius, the edges appear darkened. An abrasion collar. This is what we're after.
Abrasion collar.
Kuno is silent. A black trickle of liquid runs into his throat. Your index fits right in there. A tight tunnel of flesh opens up. Tissue damage. Wide enough for 2 fingers. As you push both in, you reach through his mouth, right into his brainstem.
The fuck is happening?
Ah, shit, see?
The basal ganglia feels clumpy. The bullet has torn apart his reptilian complex. This man will never sleep again. Never. Your fingers slide into the remains of his limbic system. There is no resistance. It's gelatinous. The slug-like structures are damaged too. The tearing extends deep into both hemispheres. This is what he used to regulate his emotions with. The lieutenant answers with the sound of his pen on paper.
Fucking cavity, see?
Your fingers are all the way in now, reaching toward the inside of his skull. The cavity goes further, But the entry wound isn't wide enough for the rest of your hand to follow. Your fingers reach toward his skull. His cerebral cortex feels like jelly. Cold jelly. Strange fluid streams down your wrist as you push deeper until you feel it on the tip of your finger. Sharp, serrated material. The edges cut right into your skin. You push your hand further in. The bullet keeps rolling. Out comes his small folding knife. The lieutenant moves its blade across the man's skull, searching for the egg.
Ah, yeah.
With a crack, he punches the knife in the skull. Then, one more time, and one more. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath. Your arm. His face. The oral. You're on the right track. The tongue. Can you feel it? A vision. You see an abrasion column.
Abrasion column.
Kuno. A black trickle. Your index.
The fuck?
Ah, shit, see?
The basal. This man. Your fingers. This is what he used to regulate his emotions with. The lieutenant.
Fucking cap.
Your fingers are all the. Your fingers reach sharp, serrated material. The edges cut right. You pick the sharp metal bullet between your index and middle finger, with your face twisting from pain and concentration.
My pig's fucking got it?
He's watching his old man get the big prize at the claw game.
What? What is it?
The inside of the head feels cold and smooth, like a glove, sweat dripping down your brow. Careful with a plop. Your hand emerges from the mouth, covered in blood up to the wrist. Between.
Fucking beautiful!
A bullet.
The bullet falls in the bag, leaving a smattering of.
A non-caliber. Rifle. Some kind of brittle alloy. Fracture. Of course. You've earned it. We need to add an item to the injury list. Injury number 4. Oval entry wound with an abrasion collar. Soft palate. Back of mouth. High velocity. Temporary cavity in brain tissue. Small exit wound on the occiput. How does that sound? Opinion, fatal injury. And one last thing. We should amend injury number 3, ligament mark. Treatment. It's obvious the Hardy Boys tampered with it. Yes, we should take a closer look at it. I am certain it has more to tell us.
This little thing could reveal much about the weapon that shot it.
Oh, you really do. I am glad to hear you say that. Your room in the Whirling in Rags should come with a bathroom. Be sure to make use of it in the evening. We bag the corpse and carry him to the holding pen of my kinema. I can transport him to processing myself, but I will be gone for the rest of the day. Work on the case. Tend to personal matters. Try not to do anything too dangerous. An officer needs backup in a neighborhood like this. I'll leave that choice to you. And one more thing. Great work, detective.
The word lingers in the air of the yard. Far away, dogs are barking. Further yet, the sound of motor traffic. Detective.
After you bag the corpse, Lieutenant Kitsuragi will leave the party until tomorrow morning. You can do side tasks and even the main case, but it might be more difficult. Plan his exit accordingly.
can I help you?
There, in that container you moved, there's something rich in there. We've got to get inside. Opening the door. Come on, I shouldn't have to tell you that. Get me up close and I'll show you how it's done. You're back before the cargo container. Its drawer has not lessened. Step aside, rank and file. Savvy's at the top of the VIP list here. That's right, out of the way. Whoa, watch it. How did he get in front? Little slime ball. Thank you, thank you. Now, are you ready? It's time to make our entrance. At first, your knock rings hollow on the door. And then... just like that, you hear a click, then a rattle. Some mechanism unlocks itself inside the door.
Ahoy! Come on in!
You can't be serious.
The man stands at the far end of the shipping container. It's hard to say anything more about him. You cannot make out any of his details, but you do feel the overwhelming presence of capital. The feeling causes all the hairs on your body to stand at attention, like soldiers preparing for review. Something's amiss. The light beams bend around his face and scatter in 1,000 directions. It seems the laws of physics do not apply here. They are suspended, distorted, and echo. Trying to visualize the physics at play is liable to give you an aneurysm. Don't think about it too hard. In the general stillness, only your tongue moves, flickering as you utter.
Welcome. Savvy, was it? Make yourself at home. Sorry, I'm not better able to receive you. I wasn't expecting visitors today.
You can't hear him exactly, yet you're able to understand every word he says. It is very strange. An overwhelming hum covers everything. Voice doesn't escape from him.
Now, what can I do for you, gentlemen? Who am I? Oh, I haven't been asked that question for such a long time. I don't meet a lot of people outside my circle these days. Anyhow, my name is Rustam Diodore, investor, license holder, and extremely high net worth individual. And your name is Savvy, right?
We've hit the big time. This is the man who's going to make you rich. Always rely on your friendly neighborhood swindler.
Mr. Diodore, I think there's been some confusion. His name is in fact not Savvy. Let's start over. I am Lieutenant Kim Kisuragi of the RCM, and this is my partner...
Pleasure to meet you, Harrier Dubois. I must admit, the name suits you very well. To be perfectly blunt, I inherited my fortune from my grandmother, who herself was an extremely high net worth individual back in Grad. All I did was take her fortune and invest it prudently. Believe it or not, it takes more than a bit of skill not to blow a vast fortune on sailing boats, bad choices, and unsupervised state policy.
Actually, at the level this guy is, it takes several generations to do that. But, alright.
I gotta tell you, at first, being rich is a lot of work. You've got to work hard because everything's so darn expensive. You know, prices increase exponentially at this income level. But then, once you've reached my position, it's nearly impossible for me not to make money. My assets are so diversified that I'm bound to come out ahead no matter what. Some of my lower net worth friends say to me, but doesn't that take all the fun out of it? And I tell them, not really. Sure, and they benefit when I buy things to stimulate the economy. Do you know how many jobs it takes to build and maintain a racing yacht? Dozens, at least. Of course, in the future, it'll all be automated. But my point is this. Every man gets what he earns. It's the height of tyranny to take that from him. It is truly, it's almost entirely carefree. It really leaves you time to better yourself spiritually.
Hey, all this talk about money has made you lose the thread. What is going on with the light in this place? That's what you need to ask him about.
What do you mean? Are you talking about my chin? Oh, that's what you mean. Yes, I've heard of this effect, though I've never witnessed it myself, of course. It has something to do with our Weiss-Wiesemann coefficient.
The Weiss-Wiesemann coefficient is a ratio designed to reflect the difference in net worth between individuals. When the coefficient is close to 1, or 100%, it means one person possesses all the net worth. Among that group of individuals, it's been observed that when the Weiss-Wiesemann coefficient reaches about 0.96 or so, the laws of physics begin to bend around the high net worth individual. The Weiss-Wiesemann coefficient for you and this individual appears to be 0.9998, repeating. That's not good for you.
Among other things. But calm down. I'm but a lowly single-digit billionaire. That's good.
I see nothing of the sort. To be frank, all I see is a gentleman who's unusually well dressed for Martinez, in a cargo container, which I admit is odd.
Yes, I imagine that does look strange to you. My container. Traveling. This is a great way to get around. It's fun, it's safe, and it gives me lots of time to... By the way, let me now ask you a question. Where are we exactly?
In the very, very early days of colonizing this archipelago, the kingdom of Surens, a precursor of a modern Sur-le-Clay.
Ah, Herschel. I remember walking its streets as a teenager. There used to be a bowling alley in Stella Maris. I wonder if it's still there. It's a shame I can't get out and explore myself. One of the downsides of being an extremely high net worth individual is that mobs of low net worth individuals are constantly banding together to ask for money. There simply aren't enough hours a day to hand out all the handouts. It's like feeding seagulls. There are always more, and they never seem to do anything interesting with it, except more seagulls. Spending money is a matter of desire. I'm sure you agree. I don't have the desire for spending it like that. Smart, you know? It also provides a means to hide from all the targeted advertising we extremely high net worth individuals are constantly subjected to. Luxury yachts, high-fidelity portable radio systems, bail-proof outerwear, and so on. It just gets a bit middle class after a while. A bit bourgeois. Don't get me wrong. They're nice things. But once you achieve a certain level of wealth, your time and mental space become much more important than material goods.
He speaks from the heart. He has very different problems compared to low net worth individuals such as yourself. For example, no problems at all.
What? No, I did not say that at all. Being rich is great. Just don't tell anyone I told you that.
I don't see how it's appropriate for a representative of the law to ask a wealthy person for money. This shines a bad light on the RCM, if you catch my meaning.
Come now. There is not even a cent of corruption here. I'm merely being polite. So, let me check my pockets. As you may know, us high net worth individuals don't have a lot of cash on hand. Investments and liquidity are enemies of one another. I think I only have coins for coffee machines. Here is 3 real. How much can you get for this? You're welcome. You know, maybe you can make that money grow. Come up with an investment plan. How's that sound?
These ultra-liberal types love losing huge sums of money on ludicrous proposals. Ergo, you should come up with a plan that's totally dead in the water.
There it is. I knew it as soon as you did the Milton 32 age note. A fellow entrepreneur. The art market, you say? Possibly. As I said, I don't carry much money on my person, but do go on. What are you thinking? Yes, the special note that helps us ultras identify each other. I almost forgot it myself. But I'm getting sidetracked. Tell me about your business proposal. I'm all ears. A painter? I'm always looking to expand into new asset classes. Who's the artist? Aha! And the name of the piece?
There's no sign of a reaction for a good 3 seconds. Then,
Wonderful things, aren't they? Names. They can completely change your reading of a person, or in this case, a painting. Before I invest, I need to know more about the work. How do I know this asset is going to appreciate with time?
this is the only question that matters. Fail to come up with an interesting hook, and he's out. The comfortably wealthy want their views challenged when making a purchase. Don't hold back.
You mean even you haven't looked at it?
What he wants to know is how exclusive it is. The more untouched it is, the better.
I see. So by artificially constraining supply, you're also stimulating demand. I have to say, it's a brilliant strategy.
Wow, he worked it out all by himself. Such a clever boy. But is he gonna pay up?
Well, I think that settles it. You found the buyer, my friend. A pleasure transacting with you. However, there are a few complications. I don't have the cash on me right now to pay for art of this caliber. What I can instead offer are shares in Mauer Koszlai Mercury Group.
Shares. That's even better. You can do a lot with them if you play your cards right.
I bought these shares many years ago for a steal. As predicted, Mauer Koszlai Mercury's operating profit has increased year on year, and there is no signs of it slowing down. People always need Mercury. Which means you could net yourself a considerable profit if you need some immediate liquidity. But if you don't mind waiting, I expect the value of these shares to double within the next 5 years.
Seems like a clever investment. Definitely worth thinking about. if you care about your future.
They're the very unit of capital. You can buy them, sell them, even sit on them if you think it. It's a Godwaldian Ilmaran company that specializes in extracting mercury. It's seen massive growth lately due to the discovery of Ryotvark mercury. Have you heard about it? At the moment, it's trading at more than 1.5 times the price of gold. That's because it's an essential component in the next generation of radio computers. Rame's using it in their next model. I can't wait for mine to turn up. My predictions say its improved speed and azimuthal range should increase my trade efficiency by whopping 46%. You really should order one. It's splendid.
It looks almost ethereal. Is it even real?
This is a stock certificate. Well, a photocopy of one. Nevertheless, it's solid proof that you own shares in malware Koshla Mercury Group.
The light around the individual in front of you changes somehow as you take the scroll. You can't figure out what's different. You just know that it is. The Weiss Wiesmann coefficient for you and this individual has now dropped to 0.9989, repeating.
That concludes our part of the transaction. Once you've turned over the asset, my people will get the legal ball rolling. Another deal complete. Welcome to the big leagues! If you haven't already, what don't they do? They practically do everything, from spotting good investments and analyzing design trends to booking a lunchtime table at the prestigious Landrosee. Unfortunately not. I only know the ones who work with multi-millionaires and beyond. But take a look around, and I'm sure you'll find one. Personal brand strategies are attracted to money like sharks to blood. You'll find having net worth opens many new doors for you.
Here's an avant-garde proposal. What about Idiot Doom Spiral? He used to hustle and hang out with the sales hawks and trend pushers of the marketing world. Let's ask him if he knows any personal brand strategists. Oh, and we should see what this net worth can do. Might score a discount, or better yet, get you some free goods. That's the kind of thing that really makes you feel like a hotshot. Ask the...
So, what's next on the agenda? Thanks for stopping by. If you ever have an idea you want to pitch me, I'm all ears. Welcome back, gentlemen. What can I do for you?
It's business.
Welcome back, gentlemen. What can I do for you?
Deploying high-concept buzzword generator. All systems functional. Ready to engage in 3, 2, 1. It's time to disrupt the future. You've got to stay lean, innovative, and focus on what matters most. The children. Steal the union boss's idea, add a twist, and present it as your own. Very capitalistic.
A youth center, huh? What kind of youth center?
Come on, tell him what he wants to hear.
brilliant. Without children, who'll be there to buy stuff in the future? When life closes a door, it opens a window, yes? What's the expected return on this?
You're deep into ultra-liberal territory now. Good work.
Very impressive. You've got a natural eye for unusual investment opportunities. I don't normally do this without a formal pitch deck, but to hell with it. What's the point of being rich if you have to follow all the rules? Here's the round of seed funding. This should be enough to prove out the concept and get things off the ground.
Vratan, now's your chance to take some time off. Spend it with your good buddy and get absolutely wrecked in the process. What is this shit? Calculating risks? Vratan! The risks you can't calculate are the only ones worth taking!
The lieutenant looks at you with horror. You've been mumbling to your necktie in a daze for several minutes.
Ah, yes. Now you're displaying it. The eccentricity that becomes a wealthy individual. Remember, it's not a handout. It's an investment, and I expect to see returns.
The lieutenant stands there, dumbfounded. His mouth opens slightly, then closes again. Is he having a stroke?
I'm not unimpressed. Let's leave it at that.
Now, was there anything else I could help you gentlemen with? The pleasure was mine. Unfortunately, I must be away soon. The next time we meet, I'll be expecting an update on my investment. Farewell, friend, and may your peace of mind guide you to happiness.
It's you again. What is it?
A sudden flash of...
So that, yeah. Where?
Sunday night.
Yeah, with us.
No.
That's a lie.
All right.
Could this
Just 'cause she...
All right, you got his attention. Now...
Why not? You can't draw a straight line. Maybe. 70.
Definitely lie.
Wouldn't hurt to have one of those in Martinez. Still, all the labs in the world don't put her on that roof. How'd she get there? Climb? Garbage.
It's never a sample fighter, and
Or ghost. It's never a ghost either. Don't worry, we've got better than that.
I told you not to say that. This is not a joking matter for him.
How?
East Delta Pinball Arcade.
Okay, but...
The elevator is outside the building. Thank you.
The lieutenant is glad.
Ruby could have gone.
That's quite the theory.
I'm on it, boss.
It's a dumb waiter, not an...
Just now. You got something else to back this route up? Or is... I've seen the winch. I'm not... That's Walmart.
He knows it's something. He's just not ready to say you knew more about Ruby than he does, yet.
Firm, but a route.
Phase 2, just don't contradict yourself. If it does...
Look, fucko!
Yeah?
I don't know, Glenny.
This one does not like Ruby. May prove useful.
She organizes.
It's clear.
Easy now, Glenn.
You don't need to prove anything. Doubt is enough for now. And Titus must have some.
Yes, God.
Just making sure.
Titus doesn't reply. Probably a good sign.
All right, Carl.
T, we're not seriously
Phase 3, the big one. Get this and they'll give her to you. Remember, don't piss him off.
And I suppose you have a theory.
Think about it. Why?
She had, like...
Really, Shanks?
Time for a logics demonstration.
I didn't do it, fucker!
You probably did, though.
It's just a thought experiment.
Fuck you, man! I would...
She didn't either.
Glenn.
Oh, so it didn't rule her out completely. And she skipped town.
Yeah. Like what? A thing? You mean?
Behind his squint.
Yeah, but...
Girls like girls too, Angus, sometimes. This is one of those times. She liked Glacier.
Yeah? No.
You what?
Come on, Glenn. I did.
She didn't fuck.
So this is why Shanky doesn't...
Ruby then...
This is some sordid shit. It's also the kind of garbage our Miss Aronier puts out to cover her own ass. Figure. And that's so.
And then, boss...
If it's true. But it's not. Right?
Nah, man.
Plus, man.
Eugene wants a woman on the team so they can do their job. That must be hard. Half of Martinez is female.
Yeah.
Wishful thinking. A more logical conclusion that you wish to avoid is that she knew what had happened because she did it.
Silence. The old man, a very This is the only...
Yeah. I don't know. She was afraid I would
She knew there's evidence on her.
Perhaps. Ask her if you find her. It won't be easy, though. Friday afternoon, when you first arrived. I told you. You. Yes, you. The cop with the sideburns and the disco clothes. Sure. You know, when I first saw you limping here, I thought she was paranoid or sniffing her. She said you until you fucking open and...
It's not an actual question. Silence. He nods.
Yeah, there was something else. She wouldn't tell me, though. She's not far.
Good fucking luck.
Yeah, Al.
She's not really a hardy candidate.
She's not, Glenn. A little.
Where have you looked for her?
More precisely, on the coast. Sure, there's some shit. I hear they have a shack where junkies sometimes crash. Time for you to step up.
We will start there.
Boyish. Hair's red. Dyed. She looks like a Lowry. It'll have to.
His grip is firm and reassuring, like holding a piece of unpolished granite. Not just granite, tightly packed RCM Sergeant material.
When are you gonna get it?
And he still isn't.
Our tenant, the police. Nay, I haven't seen anyone lately. This is my little.
She's been...
There was a murder.
Would you now? Aye. There's not much.
I see, ma'am. I hope you don't mind.
You should look around your shack. As you look at the edge of a floorboard next to it, hollow space underneath the floorboards, nothing particular, something bad. Someone's night thoughts. You stick your hand, a small cylindrical object, a 9mm, the floorboard.
Our tenant. Damn that.
And without...
But you didn't...
Gone and hid things. Yes, as I've done. She came.
That's for the police to find out. Right then. Please answer each question to the best of your ability. I'm sure we have a few.
Yes, early with the dogs. Around 8 o'clock, I cleaned it. No.
The truth, sire.
She's good
Did she talk to you?
No, she tried not to let it show. But I could tell she hadn't come to fish. How would I?
You could ask her.
Aye. Do tell. That bad? Is it? Nothing of the sort. She isn't what you'd call a drunk. Even offered me some from... I don't...
It's a pen...
You'll never...
I wouldn't worry about that, ma'am. We are persistent.
Are you sure you'd...
No, you can dip behind the cinder block houses. Old pre-war ruin.
She's a good...
The legend! He's my kind of guy. Here you bottoms up, Captain. Here you go, friend.
That is unhygienic and dangerous.
Unhygienic. This...
Tequila Sunset.
Things have really turned around for you, haven't they? You've got big money problems now. Don't be shy, Tequila. Of course I'll do it. I'm your man. Your personal brand strategist man. Now, I know I'm not your typical choice. I don't wear a suit, I'm not 100 years old, I'm not about to die tomorrow. But I've got something the others don't. I'm on your level. And as I already understand your needs, I can marry my high-concept ideas with your brand easily.
Great can-do attitude, a billion real mindset, clinically insane energy. Hire him on the spot.
No, Tequila, no. I'm a professional, you see? I insist that you give me a formal interview. It wouldn't be fair on the other candidates if you didn't. What do you need to know?
What you truly want to know is, can you really trust your entire fortune to a drunk who lost his house keys while out for a jog?
I used to be a moderately high net worth individual myself, if I can say so. I've managed big money before, played the game, hustled the movers of the marketing world. At the Boom Boom Room, I directed a team of talent architects. People so high concept their names were nothing but a single letter. We had manic ideas, fueled by copious amounts of coffee-flavored whey powder. We did stuff no one had ever seen before, or since.
We're going to need examples here. Just going by one of your initials doesn't cut it. You're after measurable performance, not tales of happy memories. Numbers, please. How many years did he work? What profits did he earn?
Numbers? How about 15 fucking years of jamming art into people's heads? That's hundreds of high-concept ideas developed and executed for those fancy corp boys in their suits. The result? Millions of real generated for clients. I've made my name in this world. Tequila, Tequila. Whatever's going on in my reality situation doesn't have any bearings on yours. This is all about you and your future. Drinking is the fuel to my fire. Moistens me up to ensure the high concepts have a smooth landing. Ah, shit.
He could definitely work more on his hand-eye coordination.
Okay. Let me get a sip first. You see, net worth means nothing to the people of Martinez. Nada. Null. For them to see your wealth, to really respect that, you need to convert it into something real, something tangible. The bigger the better. The Horseback Monument! That's the center of the district. They'd have to pay attention to that. We could get your name up there in lights. Damn thing's due for a reconceptualization anyway.
You're aware that monument is supposed to look like it's exploding. It doesn't need renovating.
I didn't say renovating. I said reconceptualization. It's medium concept shit is what it is.
The level of conceptualization could always be higher. Yes, but what would it cost?
Nothing up front. That's because I always put the client first. My cut'll come out of the back end, after we've made you a sensation.
We really haven't got time for this. In case you've forgotten, we are supposed to be investigating a murder.
And forget about contractors and the like. This job I'm handling personally. Concept and execution. Any unexpected expenses we'll take care of later. Can't let price compromise the work. That's it. I'm back! Sorry about that, my friend. This isn't about me. This is about you. Of course. A chance for you to give back to the community, to get your brand out there, to teach them your name. I can already see it. Tequila Sunset, spelled out in cathode rays, luminous against the evening sky. There won't be a single kid in this town who doesn't know who you are.
This is a good moment to bring up his drinking. He'll get nothing done if he continues like that.
Whoa there!
You pick up the handset. There's a tone. The machine is the lieutenant. Calling. Calling. Still.
Stop calling me, man. I'll get you your money, alright? My debt.
He does not seem to disconnect.
Are we about done with this now?
Calling.
I'm tired.
Sounds like he hasn't talked to anyone in quite a while.
If I could go just 1 month with it.
The man you do not hear seems like it did not have time to swallow the call. Lucky you. The call went too fast for the payphone to register. You close your eyes and put your index finger. Strange. This is you dialed 000414111 yes 451 an ultra long distance call calling still. The lieutenant is too far calling. Then the
Hello? Who is this? Dora.
Dora, in the distorted distance, you hear someone turning next to her. No answer. You're not sure, but you think you hear a man's voice in the background.
What? Oh no.
This is too much. You need to recede.
Oh no, not this. What time is it? You're not a high net worth individual, Harry. You're drunk.
You only have 2, maybe 3 things left to say before the change runs.
Because it's me. Look, I don't understand what you're Oh, God. Do you know what time it is? It's 4 o'clock, Harry. No! I want to go to sleep. What do you want to talk about that we haven't talked about already?
This is bad. You feel your right hand on the handset cramping up with pain.
Yes, I'm in my rover. Sleeping. To work. The academy, where I work.
No response, only a sigh. The connection crackles like burning paper. She does not answer anymore.
Harry.
Disconnect tone. The machine ran out of money. You dial the number in. Calling. It looks like she doesn't want to pick it up, Harry. Calling.
Harry, please. Please. I'm going to hang up now, okay?
Phone hanging up. Disconnect tone. You dial the calling. And calling for who knows how long. Metal and plastic.
That over there.
Ooh. You lift the boy out of the water without much effort. It's not tied to anything. The cord's the number 11.
Simple construction.
There's something in there, splashing around. It smells like you would expect it to smell. A concentrated version of the coast. A shot glass's worth of seawater pours out. Some out.
Well, damn. We still got here too late. There's nothing of use here anymore. I have no idea. I wouldn't go so far as to say that. This is only a small loose end. But I do. Might have been cloud.
You could ask the miss what. There's
Who's that?
his son.
Is that the... Don't worry, Gary. To what do I owe?
That's sarcasm.
Oh no, it's all right. I'm just...
The 881 is a raised motorway that separates Martinez from Jamrock.
You broke the waterlock with a motor carriage? There was a billboard in the canal. Not a vehicle. Did he say we... Yes, Gary!
Sir.
I just have to do one more round. See if the... I'm afraid not, officer. I've been busy.
The lieutenant takes a short note in his notebook. Then...
Well, first of all, it's damn difficult to find. Which is why we... Good question. And I suspect it may have also developed. It's my hype, but I cannot...
Yes, a ghost insect, he said. These people are looking for a ghost.
No, that is precisely what we're not. We are zoological specialists, looking for an I'm expecting it to be quite giant. One known species of phas... Typical... Even simply catching a glimpse of the Insulindian phasmid would be the apex of my... of any cryptozoologist's career. Very little. Not yet. I know it...
It's clear.
By which I mean, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Yes, it's the first credible sighting in several... I have to resist it.
He means asexual reproduction.
Yes, the Insulindian phasm... Well... Yes. Simple. At least, that's the intention. Locust.
Inside a meat-eating stick insect. Does it...
Thank you for...
Not a big fan of skepticism.
They'll work, I assure you. The predatory... Yes. What? By woman, you mean my wife, I assume? I will return to her. I can't leave before we finish with these traps. My wife...
Come on, Morale. We've been so...
And leave the traps?
Come on. She wants us...
Of course it's important, yes.
Needless to say...
Suffice to say, it's long been our dream to find proof of the Insulindian phasmid together. Good. A good quality to have. Both for a police... I didn't expect you to take such an interest in our work here, officer. Caught the bug, I see.
My partner was joking.
Oh, yes, officer. Very much so. There are 4... Another we set. The third is set. You should check at least one of those before... Bring it to me at once.
He's not comfortable with the possibility that you...
That's highly unlikely. It's made of musk and research chemicals. The pheromone should attract the insect to you. Or at least prevent it from bolting at the sight of you.
It's not so difficult.
Absolutely. I will never do anything like this again.
There's a trap behind you. Locusts are crawling around in the trap, confused but uneaten.
Big surprise. No, you weren't.
This is the trap. The reeds by the abandoned. This trap is
Another empty trap. Yep. The next one had...
This trap's not the reeds sway. Nothing but look.
Empty. I'm just...
It takes you a moment, but finally, you spot the last of Morel's traps. The reeds bend forlorn. The trap, no locust, no phasmid either. Your voice,
well...
The netting is a little untidy.
We did, sort of.
An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island. It is surrounded by scaffolding that has been haphazardly erected around it. A matrix of metal tubes and wooden planks jut out at odd angles. A miserable tarpaulin covers up the horse and rider, flapping in the cold coastal air. There are no lights that spell out your name. No workers with calloused hands leering from above. Just construction materials displayed as if to mourn. your misplaced dreams. There's not an ounce of artistry here. It's even worse than expected. That son of a bitch scammed you, probably to make fun of you. This is not what that personal brand strategist of yours promised. No one even knows that you're paying for this reconceptualization. Go and have a word with him. Find out what's going on. The old king looks defiantly to the west, wrapped in makeshift scaffolding.
Tequila sunset.
No one does it better than me, eh? I was able to get it all together, and so fast, too. No wonder I used to be an industry leader. Listen, I can feel it in my guts. A bright future awaits you. The one and only Tequila Sunset. You're already building great brand equity. No doubt the profits will come rolling in shortly. Of course not. Your trademark will be all over it as soon as the workers can get to it. The strike's holding them up. Not much I can do about that. I guarantee the papers will pick it up once it's all finished. With photos and everything. You'll be the talk of the town. Investing into the community, creating value, giving back.
The strike might take forever. Maybe you should just cut your losses while you can.
Don't spend a single brain cell worrying about it. Just leave it all to me. The final outcome will be spectacular. Just takes a little time. Anything else?
In your hand, you hold 4/5 of Dick Mullen and the Mistaken Identity. The cover features the tagline reads, needless to say, it violates.
Are you really reading that? Good luck finding it.
The point is, why? If you insist. But again, it's real. The story opens, Spillane, an extremely unprofessional. 2 days later, desperate to clear his name, Mullen manages to convince the Vesper police to release him for 3 days, so that Mullen may solve his friend's murder and prove.
What's the matter, detective?
The lieutenant shrugged. They're not shitting. Of course, Mullen didn't do it. That's the whole premise of the book. And not just any dame. She's truly one in a... Secrets are the currency of human relations. Deneuve revealed not only is the local police captain in on the amphetamine ring, so is the son of a powerful politician and a strung-out art collector named Torvald, each of whom has his own reasons for wanting Spillane dead. A typical privileged twat, the kid doesn't outwardly that he would certainly have the motive and the means, but the captain walked outwardly he would certainly have the motive and the means, but the captain walks with a notice. The kid doesn't exactly have Dick Mullen's manly build, but he is Torvald the art. That said, Torvald and Spillane have a long history, and while interrogating him outwardly, he would certainly have the motive and the means, but the captain walks with a noticeable limp. Outwardly, he would 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 certainly have the motive and the means, but the captain walks with a noticeable limp from an old one evening. Well, that testimony won't be admissible any longer. As the two lovers share a post-coital cigarette, the I love you, whatever it is, Mullen never hears the words. In your hand, you hold 4/5. It's getting cold, this late in the night. Time to call it a day.
Good night, officer.
The man is the body is reluctant to let go of the boots, as though it were its last bit of dignity.
Wow, Kuno's little sneak pig's back for the booty.
Yeah, fuck it to pieces for us, liar cop.
It's not completely useless. You're able to reveal a little more of the putrid polymer sock beneath the boot. It feels like the leg is going to come off along with the boot, but you're able to get the boot to move a centimeter or two. It's heavier than you'd think. You're forced to drop it back down immediately. The corpse lands on the ground with a nauseating thud, looking even sadder than before. Damn, you're out of shape. In your defense, the corpse was quite slippery. Something cracks in the left leg. It really is about to come off. The leg, I mean, not the boot. You may want to slow down. Don't tear into it like that. This is the right method. It takes some time, but eventually the boots come off, with nasty slices of polymer sock stuck to even bigger pieces of skin and rotting flesh.
Look, he's skinning the fucker up good. Puko style.
Hell, keep at it, pig.
The legs look like they've been clawed at by wild animals. As for the boots, you can't possibly do anything with them until you've cleaned and disinfected them thoroughly. Yes, these absolutely need to be washed before. Didn't the Whirling have a kitchen?
Hola, Wandering Man. Los Ardis? They're sort of like you.
Is he actually? Come on. He's just trying to keep the peace.
Why not? Must be nice being something else for a change. We're negotiating our share. Aye. All of it.
This seditious talk sounds like communism. Just so we're on the same page.
Sure thing.
What is this? News of the world? Talk about personal stuff. Get to know him.
Call me Mañana. I'm just a humble harbor worker for the past 6-7 years.
Mañana sounds like a Mesk word, but he doesn't actually look much like a Mesk. Not a given name for certain. It's a taken name. The kind for artists, or criminals, or revolutionaries and the sort. An alias. A nom de guerre.
I'm not. I'm Vasoliero. Not all Mesks have the Mesk look. Plenty to go around. A nom de guerre would be more like... Now that we are getting so well acquainted, what's your name? Harry. It's cool, but I'm sure you could come up with something even cooler.
The encroaching your tequila sunsets. You have always been.
Boyadero.
You receive a good, strong handshake in return.
A really cool guy.
It feels like there's an entire history behind the word.
Like me and you. Exactly so. A man So, anything else you wanted to discuss, Boyadero? We're negotiating our... Aye.
The man whispers a jaunty tune. A coastal breeze ruffles his hair.
The mercenary, eh? Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why even do such a thing? That's so. I haven't heard anything of... He was an agent of the opposition. I ain't the murdering type.
He believes the heart.
No problem. I wish the best to you in your search. Sure, I'm glad it's not my search.
Kuno saw you wield that can. Sweet graffito action, pig. Kuno likes that delinquent shit. Fuck no, art shit. That's right, pig. Shit. The fuck about it? Kuno doesn't give a shit about the armor. Kuno's fuck gimp's got one big thing wrong with him. He's a fucking mutant. Look at him. Fucking growth hormone shit. He's a giant. The armor's too big for any man. Kuno doesn't give a shit about that freak armor. Kuno threw that shit away. Kuno tried to get the helmet on. It was too big. Kuno kicked that shit in the sea, rugby style. That shit means nothing to Kuno. Yeah, that shit means nothing to Kuno. Kuno doesn't give a shit about material shit. Kuno's a fucking monk. You wanna fuck on someone about that armor? Go fuck the mustached union fuck. The jolly troubadour shit at the gate. Yeah, cocking boot. You know that jolly union cow fucker? Came around talking about cows or some shit? Came around pretending like he cares about cows?
Yes, you met him at the gates. The one with the boots and the jolly
Yeah, he's the one you want to talk to. He's fucking crazy about that armor shit. Coming here pretending like he likes cows. Trying to catch a peep at Kuno's armor.
Curious, my liege. Why did Kuno...
Yeah, Kuno's doing charity today. Kuno Day. Kuno feels sorry for you, loser pig. Kuno's doing pity now.
Still, seems suspicious. He may have it in for that guy. Or you may be paranoid. That...
Fuck are you talking about? What is this contusion shit?
He says you're stupid, Kuno. They want to make you stupid again.
Oh, did Kuno make your shit sniffing harder? Obstruction of shit sniffing. This is Kuno's kingdom. Kuno fucking rules here. You're testing Kuno's patience here.
Get lost,
Kuno doesn't...
It's getting late. bed is comforting. The bed underneath.
Like a deftly cast fishing net. Sleep.
How of
this?
Because you know.
Here, that is much.
Which?
The last dream will be.
Oh, but you will. In
everything. Your eye.
The last.
Wiretapping, telescopic batons. The little boy had it good on his promise. To get me into trouble.
What happened?
I was asked to look into that armor situation. Official Union probe, you know. Track it down, see who took it.
Did you?
At first I thought, why not? Maybe the pieces can feed the strike. Buy us a few more days under the sun, you know? So I went to this boy. He said he'll make me his prison bitch. He's got eyes everywhere, and it serves me right for doing menial footwork. I dropped that probe right then and there, and it still got me into trouble. One bad move is all it takes. It's a minor nuisance. It's all good. I learned that people don't want to talk to a drunk Union man about some armor.
What else?
Not much. Technical stuff mostly. That was the interesting part. I did some research into this armadura. Let's say I have friends at the library. I didn't get into the material science, just how it comes off.
How does it come off?
In parts. 4 in total. The helmet was the first to go. A kid says he tore it off and kicked it into the sea. I believe him. The boots? Well, it looks like you're wearing them. So, as I count, there are 2 parts missing. The gauntlets and the cuirass. This is where I left off. Too much hassle. More like a job for some militia. Oh, they're just gone. They don't exist anymore, if they ever did at all. Forget about them. I did.
All of it? There are junior officers out there, eager to prove themselves. I would leave some for them, but okay. Let's find all of it.
It's implied. He finds it unlikely that you will succeed in this.
And Mesquite is epic there, all across Martinez. I hope it will be a real bonanza for you. No problem. If you see that kid, thank him from...
You look down at the white ceramic sabatons hugging your arches and calves, surprised at how well they fit. Your movements cause tiny little clicks, like dice rolling somewhere far away, as the plates reorient to your motions. The hardened vitreous enamel, at once sleek and light, adds a glow to your cheeks and a spring to your step. Just imagine what a full suit of this stuff could do for you. You really do feel more confident. Invulnerability does that. Even partial invulnerability. It may be a while before you have all the pieces. In the meantime, You should analyze the armor, figure out its vulnerabilities. Remember, this is a highly specialized kinetic redistributor meant to stop bullets. Wear it, observe its properties, see if there's a weakness in the design. For the day you have to fight someone covered in the same material.
Hello again, officers. What do I care about some fucking tin eggshells? Ugh, alright, sad piggy. I'll give you this one. I saw a little girl in the fishing village running around with military-grade handwear.
Could that girl have been little Lily?
Could have been her. Small kid with giant white armoured hands. If you've seen one of them, you've seen them all.
Hello, mister. Oh, I had gloves. Very big ones. Heavy, too.
Where did you get these gloves?
Found them when Lemmy and I were playing hide and seek. In an empty house. Where no one lives. I think
She doesn't want you to think she stole them.
I hid them. The twins were going to take them. They're stupid.
We're going to need those gloves. It's for important police business.
Oh, they're in my sandcastle. Behind our house. Under the sand. You can break the castle. It's not very good. Bye!
Weather has not been kind to Lily's little sandcastle. The once mighty towers are quickly eroding away. You can see something shining back to you from what must have been a vast underground catacomb network.
The little castle? The reigning lord must have come upon some really tough times to let it sleep in such decrepitude.
The walls and floors give way to the giant's greed. collapse and present you with a pair of ceramic gauntlets.
Congratulations. That's the gauntlets down then. We're doing good on the armor collection front.
You see, a slogan used to intertwine with the loops along.
Looks like tomorrow never came.
Above the Feld, there's something in the wind.
In there?
Why single out this one building? The once bright mural towers above you, saying, suddenly, or the once bright mural towers above you, saying, Feld Electrical, R&D, suddenly. The once bright mural towers up, even though you're sure you succeed. Trying to talk.
How do we? She's probably, and then...
Or spirit.
Anyway, we do it the old-fashioned way. Then if...
Walk the cup. An adventure awaits. An adventure... The once bright mural towers above you. Suddenly, in through...
Down there.
Okay. Why? Good, good. Yes. Right.
Finally, my time.
Perhaps you...
A rusty ladder leads to...
Yeah. That doesn't look good at all.
The distance, in addition, the first rung, not to mention, what if you were... Astral projection. B. Oh,
teleportation.
Even if it isn't, no one told you.
This really oh yes.
He is restraining himself from using a parental tone with you. The rusty ladder leads to the rooftop. On second thought, maybe teleportation. The rusty ladder leads to the rooftop. On second thought, maybe... The rusty ladder leads to the rooftop. All you need to do is close your up. Zoot, zap.
Oh my god.
Bam! You find yourself on the roof, having mastered the art of physical displacement.
I just saw...
The wind...
Never mind!
2 rusty metal. The doors seem to be...
Huh. I hope no one dangerous heard that. After you climbed up to the roof, you mean? At least now we have an exit, so let's get going. It's time to investigate these passages.
Suddenly, your entire body is packed. It's like 1,000 radio stations are being blocked.
I know you're feeling. Can't say it's a.
The voice coming through the world doesn't wish to hurt you. Not according to your ear canals. No, buddy. That's not going to help. You can't shield yourself from this. It's an...
I'm using a pale latitude compressor. You and your partner have been... Wow. A pale latitude compressor is used to sort of...
Suddenly, your entire body is paralyzed. It's like 1,000 radio stations are being blasted into your head all at once. But her words are the only ones you can make out. Cop dies in heroic attempt to... Suddenly, your entire body, it's like 1,000...
I know you can't say it's...
The voice doesn't wish to hurt you. That's all. Don't focus on the pain. Focus on doing your job. Tell her she's under arrest.
I'm using a pale latitude. Wow.
Right behind you.
A pale latitude. Signals are... So, precisely. At the upper...
She's been holed up in here for a while with no one to talk to. Keep her talking.
Yeah,
So she thinks of you as hunters.
If you've got...
Turn this...
God damn it, fine.
She's well, just keep her. There's only 3. Be careful when you make your move. That'll be it for questions. Bide your time. You did it. The compressor lies broken on its side. She looks...
Oh, fuck it.
She's truly... You know. Her neck and shoulders relax, and her grip on the gun loosen.
Day of Mir.
She runs past you, then past the lieutenant, and disappears into the darkness.
Good call. I would have done.
He couldn't take it like you. It irks him. Then he gets over it.
Her tent.
The plane, it was pitched. The tent, it reeks of cigarette. Assorted.
See anything?
Rhaegar month. You pocket the wall. A trusted.
We should read.
A thick journal. It's made of Schneller. She's got good the journal falls. The large, perhaps too confident. It's a mix.
It's good she left in a hurry.
Hard to tell.
There could be useful in
esoteric radio technique. Short staff issues. Or the first entry is from nothing. You have no idea what she... The most... Even when I leave it.
I just don't...
That would be a first. Or a fourth. But who's...
I wouldn't go so... Besides, Classio was the one who pointed the finger. Either way, one thing is for...
Stop. What you have, be prepared. Your fingers reflexively reach for the Villiers 9mm.
Then you'd better get ready. Whatever.
I'm all out.
Put your damn...
Shut up!
This is the scab lead.
This is the cape. You are
Would you shut up?
This is the scab leader.
This is a mis-
The killer raises his rifle and takes aim at you. His moves are steady. An Easter AR-FA7 built a low shot rings. You feel a tapping like rain on your chest plate. Heavy drop. You got hit.
God.
He's aimed 2 shots ring at once. One from the lieutenant's pistol and the other from the balls. Blood gushes. An unbelievable Glenn. Oh God, you see 2 crazed eyes stare at you through all the smoke and the panic. With blood gushing from his face, the man raises his pistol at you. Then he squeezes the trigger. You can't. The pain is too immense to scream. It pushes the heart.
Stop! Protect!
Feels slick and warm with blood. Most of what's down there. You can also feel the bone. Nothing. A persisting darkness.
You're bleeding out.
Yes. But a slender white shadow towering. Someone. Scream immediately. He's gonna die. No, you scream. Behind you, from your bloody lips. Your eyes are. There isn't. You hear a.
This is death. One more, brother. It's the living who are gone.
The fight is not and
He can't. There was a ring.
ours.
The engine.
No, it was him. He.
You see the lieutenant's familiar shape.
Sunrise, Parabellum. It's not out.
Druamine. Then
Mr. Gart, 2 days, in and out. Yes.
the close proximity of death.
Sunrise Parabellum.
Isn't that written on your...
It served you well. The gates of the heart. I think we may have held it off, for now. Barely. That's right. Ouch. In what happened? Yes.
A blood-stained killer.
You're an officer as retaliation.
He sounds...
I shot an Titus Fatting. Yes. You were bleeding.
Thank you.
I killed her. And that's what happened. This is the one. The poll was because we did. Maybe they are simply taking their time. 3. Glenn, Theo, all. Let's face it, officer. But what's done and...
He did not expect you both to survive once you stepped between.
Reasonably bad. You were shot in the left quadriceps. That's your thigh. It appears no major artery. The bruising in your... We will see. No.
A man and back to that shithole, he says.
I called your station after the fight. The injury was logged in. I'm sure there...
That means he hasn't seen...
I don't know. Not very. Things would be worse if you didn't warn me. Easy now. How are you? Your disco days should have been done. I honestly don't know. Do you? Yes. It's a little late to elicit her support. Oh yeah. Turns out it was...
Who would have... By the way...
I don't know. Honestly, I think our investigation has not produced it. What? Every piece of...
He's wrong.
Okay.
He arches his brow. The ceiling fan patiently spins overhead.
Really? Because to me, it seems solving crimes is... No. Are you ready to limp? Good.
Ballistics. In Clausia's room. Do it.
Why not? Another look at...
You see the same...
This is ballistic.
Array of backward... It suggests the island in the bay.
Unless she thinks the perpetrator was standing on... I remember. She was...
She had a...
It also looks like there may be more to her skill set than we know. I find that hard to believe. So it...
For a second he seems... tired. He is trying to justify it to himself.
Of course. How do we get there? Ah, yes, of course. The village.
The scaffolding around the old monument has been taken down. In its place are the spoils of your investment. Numerous rods and ropes still hold the original reassemblage in place. A cardboard sign hangs from the arm, pointing out to sea. Written in shaky marker pen are the words, "Pale swallows all." What was once a gesture of great power has been hijacked to signal the ceaseless march of annihilation.
Hard to disagree with the sentiment, considering what we just survived.
Citizens must be warned. This is not only a declaration of the dead, but a warning for those still alive. It comes indomitably.
Detective, I have a few questions, if you don't mind. About this pursuit of wealth, pursuit of recognition.
He nods, eyes still on the doom-crier above, on the arm holding out the portent of the cold air.
Why did you do it? I don't think anything. I'm just asking questions.
You've been through a catastrophe and still haven't reaped a single benefit from this doom speak. Drop it already.
One more question, if you don't mind. Was it all worth it? Ah, yes. Spoken like a true businessman. All right, shall we? We still have some things left to do before we can go home. I don't think we have time for that. And even if we did, I doubt he's around anymore. Everyone's left. Sure. Whenever you're ready.
The Doomcrier towers above, mounted on a horse. Numerous rods and ropes still hold the original reassemblage in place.
Officer...
You're not. She sounds almost disappointed with you. Reprimanding you for falling and hurting.
Everyone, what happened?
There was an exchange of fire on Rue de Saint-Guylaine.
Of course. Can I help you with something? That won't be a problem. If you promise...
Of course.
Aye.
The crow's feet disappear from the corners.
Please be conservative with the fuel, will you?
A skiff, once you get... Have you made... Remember what the net picker said. It's a small tank. You won't be going back and forth on this.
What? Fine.
SAD FM is a radio... in the side.
Let's go.
The lieutenant.
It's cold now. But
The lieutenant, there's a red. The recoil start wakes the old generator up. The machine sputters like.
That should do it.
Green paint flicks off the keys
The console of an antique. I think, yes.
The blast door opens with a series of clicks. A shaft of light appears, then widens as the light shines in.
After you.
An old man, wearing tracksuit trousers, leans on the frame stock of his rifle. He gathers a big ball of spit in his mouth. Then, unclouded by cataracts.
My eyesight? I did. I should have reaction.
Told you we shouldn't play sad FM.
Sad FM, huh? The fascists were right. It's not nice. It's a
Southeast.
A samurai. It would send.
It has stayed true to him.
You.
He's right. Almost no one remembers there was a third.
They wouldn't like hearing their name in your mouth. Damn dog. Yes. Have you?
We have come to, if you do not...
The lieutenant.
You were a glorified knight.
The words.
And what rank would that be? A bit. It's out of bullets.
He stares on, his wrinkled mouth moving.
The future.
The present.
The present to be afraid and cold.
His gaze still warm from his parched hands. The rifle on the butt. You see, Vesper time.
Warren.
No response from the
Jacketed. Military. I wonder...
The old man does not. This looked very much like the marching. Forget about that for a moment. You need to address...
Hey, in Grad, they sang Brave Children. How did it?
He waves erratically with his hand.
My name.
The commune.
From the... I left.
51 mile.
No, I wasn't a resurrection until they... I was just 6. You could say a second for reaction to take hold. Petty bourgeois terror. It's in all men. May the 13th, the combined huddled on the...
A terrible shame. Still...
No. Shit. They'd all drowned in the lower levels, or got the mass, and then you... That the bourgeois are not human. I had to fight it. 43 years and 10. It's...
What have you...
Hiding.
2 police patrol. The officer...
Always. For her.
Her who?
Girl child. Revolution. No,
What has he done?
Yes.
There is no flame to fan. It's not an island. The congenital coalition. Death blow. You're one of them. Tell me, who speaks like that? Iblis, the black-eyed angel. Now
hold on there.
You're in.
How is your...
I've been...
He does...
DRC...
I need to die. I have been running out of that stuff. There's nothing to look... I don't even know what. Inferno? No one. It's disgusting. It was hot.
There were...
We communal and others at night.
In the city.
From bunker to bunker. Not anymore. No. So you finally found... I know.
So you've...
Sleeping.
You feel the...
I don't want to. I do. They're good.
The old man looks across the water.
You're with the RCM. The coalition-appointed mob that enforces bourgeois... You're the... Take me...
A spray of Rene, the royalist on the coast, said.
Liberal...
Is that...
He just wipes the blood from his chin.
Honor is a feudal atavism. No, I am not a soldier. I am an ideological officer. I belong to the train. In
the old man.
His job was...
Scientific...
Awakened from shutdown by the promise of... He nods, slowly. Then, another tremor.
You're...
Detective, we have come...
The old man spits into the fire pit.
There's nothing serious in this world. It's a farce. I've used it for killing. It's a... I've used...
Interesting.
There isn't...
So is... This is it. You can feel it. This is what you live. The solution. Go in... No, don't mess this up. Remember, he won... What did I just tell you? Don't drop the ball now. He heard you. He just wants to hear you say it again.
Oh,
did you?
I am...
Exhaust the gun, the scent, something about the tracks. Suddenly...
Not a lot of...
It's a real... You look...
He would have a... So he saw you. Okay. So what? Don't let it divert you.
You didn't handle anything. None of it.
You're getting diverted.
So you watched it.
You don't know anything.
You know what? You're right. I'm convinced this made the shot. Good. This feels good.
This pushed him, but not enough. Just a little.
I saw
You had direct. You've been.
I'm ready.
He's practically admitting to it.
Yours.
Almost. He almost burst out there. Keep piling arguments. The lieutenant, not this, he seems to say. Anything but this.
Ain't you? Your
Yeah, but still, somehow you knew it.
standing there, slack-jawed.
Wait, Harry, there were wait, you got it. Remember?
Damn, so many this year too. The spring is come. They the coat.
You must get around.
I may. Class with the.
There is don't leave any loose ends.
Everything.
Show me the soul.
Fucking.
The maker. These are not.
The size fits, but not the soul.
Sire.
Racking.
The lieutenant. The prince. The old man.
You know who he was. A coalition train beat. Got your.
This is it. Shot him.
No.
The lieutenant. Hush. While the lieutenant listens, holding his breath.
I didn't think. Nothing. And.
Mr. Dra.
Yes.
Anywhere look.
The old.
Why?
Because.
The mode you can cope.
I don't understand.
I'm all.
Are you.
Arrived.
And if you don't.
Click.
Yes.
He will. You got him. Start with when he first saw him. It will give him a chance to ramble.
3 weeks ago.
Joyce. He means Joyce.
Wrinkled up whore. Black. So don't. They moved it. No, barely. I could see they've returned now. Them. Jealous. And that's.
He wants to punish her.
She practically breastfed that man. You would. The world is insane. Since she
Past the.
hiding her
In the free.
Did you keep what?
No.
This also a little inconsistency here. He was surprised to hear a strange confusion.
It didn't say class yet. It was something I did. I could.
You could tell
She had.
He set it. The bruises.
You can't see bruises through a scope. It's just a blur.
It quickly comes to you.
Did you make
with a clip point knife? Like that too? Yes. I've been. Yes. You turn.
Those two, you hear one more.
How did you get in?
I can.
You had to.
I got.
Andy found use for it. A spare key. Like
there.
The coals.
Man needs to feel something else. And this. Yes. No, I don't. The day. Yes. Maybe. If you.
In the one more down.
Her.
The lieutenant. That's it.
Where is she? That Classier. Gone. She'd look.
He knew.
We could get.
Who knows? You could get more out of him. He likes talking.
A tragic.
A strange. The familiar. But
specifically because of the pump full of. Yes. The fly larva. Not since the. Intense. Like animals. Like those boom boom morons. The worst of the worst. Every morning. That's all the rich really want. We did.
There was something about a step.
Horse. Syphilis is a disease Philippe III contracted in a whorehouse. The back.
That is.
And he's still. What a keen remark. Yes, it is, isn't it? It's still there. No, art is a.
Wait, it had to be. He's already.
I did.
Yes, shameful. So many others to punish.
The fact.
Accusations of corruption. Push them aside with a sharp change of topic, officer. Put them.
Another.
Disappointment. So person.
That default.
Edgar. He's been sweet-talked by this Edgar. They must have met him.
You can't.
The Clares would.
Of course. Don't go straight for the kill. Exhaust everything else first.
I haven't.
How did he?
He didn't just step. I was right about one of 20.
That's around the time the
Edgar never trust a social democrat.
They let him be here.
You know.
Again?
Tried to.
Okay, he didn't do the hanged man for them. But he's insinuating some. The connection. He.
That bourge and money. She liked that too. That she was called in.
No.
Did she?
No. She couldn't make.
Here it is.
Because she.
Just say nothing.
The cow caught. She was heading home to Grand Couronne or Betancourt. Someone shot her. Nothing.
Edgar didn't. If you were to, we would strike.
A degenerate worker state. Goat shit. No, thank you. I saw it happen. Everyone is...
There is plenty here to work with once he's in custody.
Every royally... I remember that. Fat and plump. Like a... Not yet.
Save the tree.
He is better. I even... Glad. It's all gone. I ain't good.
The old man stares despondently at the logs. It's like he's forgotten you're there. What strikes you about it? Indeed, it's a You've seen demented people. You've seen demented...
No, I'm...
There it is again. Erratic hand motions, bouts of rage, and the stomach thing too.
What? But you said I would be taken to the...
Your wayfarer. Do you?
What? No.
He's sweating.
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat. Not really.
But then, who watches him while you're coming back here?
You come back.
What is this?
Lillian. You could ask her, maybe.
This is not...
This...
No, listen. Listen now. There it is. Something.
Maybe there is room for 3 on the boat. What?
What are you...
Your skin crawls. There was something off. Brother, you've managed to collect all the armor pieces. Too bad it's too late for the big showdown. Future use for a future armor. Agreed. Gear up, heavy porcelain man. It's a violent world.